Hey there, comic book friends and fiends. It's Rob, Great Wall, sexiest place in comics, Slab Hub. Chris, how you doing there, sir?
Good. How are you?
I am just Ducky. It's another Saturday, and I am excited because with us today we have returning to Slab Hub a man with an impressive selection, a man who forced me inadvertently without forcing me to get off my ass and get that Brave and the Bold first appearance of Team Titans by shaming me into the fact that being the third guest to shame us that neither one of us had it. So let's bring him on right now. Paul, Sector 2815. How you doing today,
Hello.
brother?
I am doing
Welcome.
well.
Welcome back to Slab Hub. We're glad that you didn't get anything infectious from us when you were here. No STDs, slab transmitted diseases. And we're happy that you decided to come back and join us again today.
I always practice safe slapping.
Excellent. Very good. Liz Crucius, hello. How are you? We're going to say hello to a few people here before we get started. Chop and drop, as always. Mr. Look at Me, ready to get shamed because his slabs aren't big enough. Um, Woohoo! Indeed, indeed. James Willie, he's trying to break the cold spell that has settled in his winning ways. Joe, hey, we're glad that you're able to catch it live too. Happy to get you on there. I still need to circle back with you, Joe, because I need to talk to you about getting yeah, that ASM that we were talking about. Dale of Suspense, greetings. Hello, Beth. Hello, thank you for coming. Ignacio, thank you for joining us. The man himself, Beckerman. Steve C. Oh my goodness, look at everybody. I'm so happy here. Navs is here. Great. Excellent. Everybody ready to get rocking and rolling. So, as usual, everybody, if this is your first time joining us, and I don't know why it is, but if it is, what the hell? We're going to go through Sector 2815 is going to share with us some of his slabs today that are in his collection. Along the way, we'll learn about his journey on them. We'll ask some questions about some of the slabs. We'll talk about some of the books. And, of course, about halfway through, we're going to stop. We'll do a hashtag comment giveaway for a random drawing of 6 books from the box of books, which is continuing to grow. Yeah, I did another purging of some of my collection. And then also, of course, we'll do another giveaway at the end of the show. So happy to have you there. If you have questions about any of the books that are shown, by all means, feel free to pop them up in the comments. Or if you just have questions in general about comic book grading, slabbing, etc., if we have the answer, we will be happy to address that for you. We have quite a bit of experience, I would say, amongst us all. With that, of course, last thing before we get into it all, I'd like to encourage you, if you like the show throughout the process, please hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't checked out or subscribed to or following Chris or Paul on either Instagram or YouTube, their information is down below. Please feel free to click that at some point and take a link and follow up and consider following them as well. Very much appreciate it. Glad that you could make it, Cat Fan Comics Man. We're just getting to get started. And with that, I'm going to move Paul into the seat of honor, make him big. And Paul, welcome back. Take us on a journey, will you please?
Thank you very much. I appreciate both of you guys having me back on. I had such a great time last time that I was like, yeah, I'll be back on whenever you want me. Just ask me. Just ask me. I'm going to start with one of the oldest in my collection.
Nice.
You're gonna find that today. I'm gonna jump forward and back through time.
Beautiful. I love it.
I'm gonna actually start with this. This is Action Comics number 41 from October 1941.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh, that is beautiful.
4.0. That's excellent. Look at that.
I could almost want to own a Superman book.
Yeah, the cover. The cover is really displays really well.
Yeah, that is just beautiful. The way jumping in with that locomotive.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
This is my earliest Action Comics that I have.
Nice. And that's your earliest book in your entire collection?
No, my earliest book it was the Adventure Comics that I had on last time we were on, just by a couple months. They're both from
okay.
1941.
Okay. 94, great. All right, cool.
Who's the creative team on that? Siegel and Schuster was off the title by that point?
Siegel did the story.
Okay.
Schuster did not do this. So it was Jerry Siegel did the story. Fred Ray did the art.
Okay.
So, yeah, Siegel hung on for a few more years after Schuster left. But now we're going to actually jump a little bit ahead now, and I will move to 1976. This is a Jack Kirby, which this is kind of if it was
boy.
A little bit timely.
If it was Johnny Firestorm, it would be Flame Off. You know, it got really, really hot, but now it's kind of
that was a book. Yeah, I mean, 2 years ago when the first rumors, I think, was when it was at its peak, even with, and then it came down during the lull, which you always have after the first excitement, and it built back up again coming to the movies. But I don't think it ever hit the same kind of peaks it did 2 years ago during the earliest, just the rumor phase.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Still.
Yeah, and I think since the movie, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll say it's still a big key issue. Like,
yeah.
let's be honest, right? If you're a Kirby fan, it has to be a part of your collection for sure.
No, absolutely. I mean, I never read the Eternals, and that's, you know, whether that's on me or whatever, I don't really care. But I mean, I do appreciate it, and I did enjoy the movie, and but man, yeah, I remember just watching that book just go stratospheric 2 years ago, and then watched it crash, and was just dumbfounded by how much it fluctuated. But awesome book.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if you're a Kirby, you know, you got to have it if you're Kirby. But since the movies come out, I think it's kind of continued to go down a little bit. But it'll, you know, if they make a second one, it'll rebound, I'm sure. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes those outside of those flash in the pans, right? There's always, especially with the movie stuff, there's spikes that'll come and go to where it's more volatile. But with anything that's an investment, right? What's the long-term hold on it, right? And that's where it really comes in. And well, if you're on it to hold for a while, then that's a book that, okay, short terms, there's some really crazy fluctuations, but overall, where was it 5 years ago versus where is it today, right? And that's where the real difference is. So, and I know, because I'm looking at it right now. That one's an anomaly, obviously, but yeah. So, and I know on that book, it looks like the most recent sale was as low as $137 actually, but previously had been, you know, around $300+ or something. But if you go back and you look at that book, say 5 years ago, it was a book that was selling for less than $50.
Yeah.
In a 9.0. So.
Yeah, I think, you know, like most books, with the exception of maybe the really, you know, blue chip books, you know, have probably come down since the what was the word they used, the exuberance of comic collecting while everyone was at home.
Yeah, well, July, and just you've had a dip since July of this year, but the other books will, like this, you know, like you said, there's movie dip and stuff too that come into play on there. But yeah, the hype, because you had the hype on that book around fall of 2019, and then it dipped down throughout 2020, and then started climbing back again here in 2021.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we came forward, we're going to go back a little bit now. And last time I was on, I showed you a Green Lantern, a Golden Age Green Lantern that I had. Before he had his own title, he was actually in All American Comics.
Yes.
Wow.
This is number 32. So he premiered in All American Comics number 16. This is All American Comics number 32.
Wow.
Story written by Bill Finger.
I am not a Green Lantern fan typically, but I love that Golden Age costume. so much more than the any of the modern Green Lanterns. I don't know if it's just the multicolor aspect of it or the way it was drawn or what it was, but just always really love whenever I see the Golden Age Green Lantern. I'm interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love the primary colors on all American comics. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, whew. So when you're looking at collecting various comics, what draws you to certain books? When you, at least when it comes to slabbing books.
Well, obviously, the first thing I want to collect is I want to collect things that are interesting to me, and I'm a huge Green Lantern fan. So, I'm trying to get a run of the original Green Lantern series and as many All-American comics that I can. Obviously, I'm never going to afford the earliest ones of either of them, whether it's Green Lantern #1 or All-American 16. So, I kind of first take a look and see, what's in the range of what I can afford, obviously, because you got to collect what you can afford too. But I definitely want something that presents well. I'm not really that concerned about a grade necessarily, because I also think that, I can, and I'll show a little bit later, but it's something that I got, which is a low grade, but I'm going to hope to upgrade it, in the coming years, hopefully to use it to upgrade it. Because I can't afford to put the money down for a higher grade right at the start. But if I get in at a lower grade, you can build upon it and things like that. So,
well, and I think this is a great example of showing where, look, a 3.0 here. This now, granted, I'm sure it looks different in your hand than it does to us on the screen, obviously. But like when I do this with my wall behind me, even for that matter, it's like until you're up on top of the books. A lot of them present so well that from an art perspective, as long as the centerpiece of that art isn't roached out, it can look just as impressive as anything else. And as long as, if you're not the grade snob and you just want to be about the art, that is just a beautiful, beautiful piece of art.
Right.
Agreed.
Yep.
Whew, it's 3 books in and I'm getting all excited here, Chris.
I recently purchased 3 slabs within in October, I think it was late September, early October, that I kept that I hadn't shown. I actually put them on Instagram not too long ago. But this is one of the first slabs that I got, one of the newest ones that I got. This is Flash number 123.
Great cover. Yeah, famous cover.
This is, I think, one of the most, I'm going to say undervalued, because I guess other people really kind of value them, other than me. But this, I think, is one of the most underappreciated comics as for what it did to the comic industry.
Yes.
If this comic doesn't exist, you don't have the new Spider-Man movie that has, a billion different Earths.
Right. There's no multiverse.
Agreed.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the comic that created that. And I don't think it gets the appreciation necessarily from the comic community in a lot of circles that it should. Whether it's valued, and again, that's all the people that determine its value. But this is just so important, not just to DC Comics and to the Flash, but to the comic industry as a whole.
Correct.
Agreed. Every writer should pay attention or give homage to that book, because that's the one that took the big step forward, no pun intended, to start linking 2 different times, which they turned into dimensions, and now we have what we have, across every publisher. Yeah. Besides that cover is just kick ass too. That's just a great cover too.
Yeah.
That's right, because Jay Garrick is the best.
You know what? The Golden Age characters, you really can't beat them for a lot of them.
I love them all. I'm not a big Justice League fan, but I love all the Golden Age counterparts. The Golden Age Green Lantern we talked about, the Golden Age Flash, the style and design and stuff. I just dig them.
Yeah, I would love to know how his helmet stays on.
Matt, it doesn't matter. It's high-speed friction tape. He uses 200-mile-an-hour duct tape.
A little bit of duct tape to cure everything.
That's right. It's the same tape they use on NASCARs.
Now we're going to jump forward again to 2019. This is Marvel Comics number 1000.
Oh,
This is the D23 cover. This was only given out at the D23 convention.
who's the cover artist? Is it Ramon Perez?
No, it's Humberto Ramos.
Humberto Ramos, right?
Yeah.
That is that.
So
I
this
love
is,
that
I think,
cover,
also
and I
the
like
first
the black and
appearance
white too.
Yeah, it really is nice. This is, I think, the first time Mickey Mouse and the Marvel heroes have appeared on the cover together.
Fantastic.
But I'm a huge Disney fan, and so when I saw this, I was like, I got to get it.
Yeah, that book's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. This is from the third volume of Green Lantern. This is Green Lantern number 48. This is the first part of Emerald Twilight, and this is the first appearance of Kyle Rayner.
Oh.
Not his first appearance in costume, but his first appearance in comics. This followed on from the death of Superman and breaking Batman's back, where DC had to put their heroes through the worst possible things that they could possibly think of. And this was, right after Mongol destroyed Coast City, and after this, he ended up becoming Parallax, Hal Jordan. And so this was kind of the start of that, of him becoming Parallax, and Kyle Rayner becoming the new Green Lantern.
Very cool.
Again, huge Green Lantern fan, so I got a fair amount of Green Lanterns that are slabbed, whether old or new.
Yep. Especially when you're working on a run of Green Lanterns, it tends to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
and this was sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Paul.
To say this is Ron Mars wrote it, and Mark Bright did the art on this.
One thing I was going to say, just becoming a part of this YouTube comic book community, I had no idea how popular Green Lantern was and how many completionists are actually out there. Like I don't want to say it blew my mind, because the character is incredibly important and very respectable, but I had no idea to what level there were amount of people out there that are like, and they all have their favorite different lanterns for different reasons,
Mm-hmm.
right? And just like like watching videos and unboxings, and they're like, yeah, this is a mystery box, but look, I got this Green Lantern for my collection. I'm like, oh, you're a Green Lantern fan too? But yeah.
It was the first kind of spacefaring group, before Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever, before the Nova Corps, there was the Green Lantern Corps. And to answer Cole's question, my favorite is Hal Jordan. Kyle Rayner is a close second, but my favorite is Hal Jordan. That's the one that I grew up with. So that was mine.
The question is if you've been reading Intergalactic Lawman.
I have not. I'll have to try that out.
I've never actually even heard of Intergalactic Lawman, so
I haven't either.
Now I'm going to have to Google it another screen while we're going on here.
Okay. This one is a Silver Age, but it's a Marvel. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 16. This one is for you, Chris.
Love it. I can tell you all about that book.
Tell us about it. Go ahead.
That is the first time Daredevil appears outside of his own title. Again, it's another one of the very few times that a villain or villainous team actually shows up for a second time in the Amazing Spider-Man, as you have the Circus of Crime, is it? And making an appearance as well. It's after this successful Daredevil appearance that Stanley started to have more confidence to allow the Human Torch to start appearing in different titles outside the Fantastic Four as well. So yeah, that book is actually very important for a multitude of reasons, but the most importantly is obviously first appearance of Daredevil outside of a Daredevil comic book.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Spider-Man's got a broken ankle or something there on the left leg of his. I mean, that's on.
Look, people say that Todd McFarlane was the first one to put Peter in these weird positions. I challenge that and say, look at Ditko right there on that cover.
Oh, there's always a lot of weirder ones on this stuff. Yeah, well, that's sadly another ASM I don't have.
But yeah, great book, and that's a very nice grade too. You know, those white covers like that, they often start to change color and they show the wear very easily, especially with the dark blue around Spider-Man's head in the top left corner there. But yeah, 4.5, awesome, love it, love it.
So we have BFITS posted, and I looked too. Yeah, so this Intergalactic Lawman is Grant Morrison Green Lantern stuff collection or trade.
Yeah, and I do have that. I had a brain freeze there for a second, but it's the Green. Yeah, Liam Sharp. I actually really liked his art in Green Lantern and then Green Lantern season 2. It takes some, especially season 2. Grant Morrison really, it's not something you can quickly read. You really have to pour through it and really kind of take in everything that he's doing, because like a lot of his work, it can be best read when you're a little bit inebriated. Sometimes you can understand it better.
Great. Thanks for bringing that one up there, Beefit. Appreciate it.
We're going to go back to the Silver Age again. This was the Justice League. Before it was the Justice League, it's the Justice Society and All-Star Comics number 9.
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
boy.
very nice.
Oh, boy.
That's a very early Silver Age.
Yeah, this is from 42, I believe.
So that would be it's 42 that it's Golden Age.
Yeah.
Sorry, Golden Age. Did I say Silver Age? Sorry, I meant.
Yeah, I was going to say, for it to still be a 10-cent comic, that whatever I didn't think it was, but yeah, no, that's a Golden Age book. Yeah, I would say usually the Golden Age books I can tell from the backs on some of the ads, and that one's one of the ones that's got a typical Golden Age American ad on the back that you don't see post Silver Age.
Your air rifle.
That's right.
Get your Daisy air rifle. You'll shoot your eye out.
Although there are some that you
Red
remember
Rider.
the ones in the 70s or the early 70s.
Yes.
There were some where they had the M16 looking BB gun air rifle, but you start to see them less and less frequently on the back of after the mid 60s.
Yeah.
I actually bought this one slabbed. I wish it was kind of, it's in one of the magazine size holders. Which
yeah. That happens with because of the size of some of the Golden Age books. They don't fit in the others. I admit, I recently got a couple back from CBCS where the books in the regular, they only have the one holder and it's in there. But it's obviously just in there, and there's almost like a little bit of they're using the vertical space a little bit to make it fit in there on one of the larger ones, and it's like, But yeah, those those magazine slabs just suck, unfortunately.
Funny because the description on the contents, it says J. Edgar Hoover becomes an associate member of the JSA.
The worst part of the slabs isn't even just the construction of the slab. It's the fact that it's just different. And you can't put it on the wall with your other slabs. Because if I go to take a book like this and go to, because I could play Chris for a second and pull out something that's impressive, like a 9.6 Golden Age book, and say, oh no, it just doesn't quite fit right on the wall. Yeah. So I just have to have it sitting around, so like Chris, I can just randomly pull something out of my arse. Look at me! There you go, just for you there, Comic Journey.
I gotta be.
Last time I was on, I think I told you that my favorite artist was George Perez, and I had Crisis on Infinite Earth #1. This is another Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Probably the most iconic of the covers.
Correct.
I agree.
This has This has never been repeated by anybody. This cover.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still no ASM 300 or Spider-Man 1.
Right.
It's true. They're still pumping out those ASM 300s homages.
Even Todd's doing it himself. But yeah.
I think there's a law that they're required to create one a month minimum, and and otherwise the world blows up. So, and McFarlane is allowed to become a supervillain. So I think that's what happens. But yeah,
you don't want that Canadian going bad down there.
Yeah, I mean, a Mighty Mouse version of that cover. But oh wow, I would love to see a Mighty Mouse version of.
Wow, to me, Paul, that's the quintessential Perez piece. Like, if anyone says, "Oh, I'm a huge George Perez fan," like Perez is my favorite. You better come at me with Teen Titans, and you better come at me with Crisis, Superman holding Supergirl. That's to me, that's the quintessential right there in your hand. That's fabulous. Yeah,
and again, we talked about how Crisis on Infinite Earths, the whole miniseries changed the comic industry as well. This particular issue, kind of told at least the DC fans that no one was really going to be safe. And the next issue they offed another one.
We lose two. Back to back.
So again, this is and again, it's another reason why it's quintessential Perez is because there's like a million people in the background here.
I'd love to see that. I would love to see him take that cover on again today and color in everyone behind him now that we have the tech to do that kind of printing, because you can tell they grayed out everyone in the background there, but there's tons and tons of superheroes behind Superman there, and it would be really cool to see them color everything in there. But that's that right there. That's when to me, when I talk Crisis on Infinite Earths, that's the cover that's in my mind.
Absolutely.
Indubitably.
Okay. The next one I have is one that I kind of jokingly started calling it my supernova. What I mean by that is it burned really, really hot, but then it used up all its fuel, and now suddenly it's really not anymore.
Oh. It burned fast. I think that wasn't. I think it burned so fast mostly because I think it was delayed a day or something, or delayed a week, or there was some shops didn't get it or something, and so it caused this false surge of need for it, almost like Gleason's Spider-Man 55, where some of the shops didn't get it, and so many people felt like they had to rush out to go get it, and then there were so many more. But that's first. That's the first Robin King, or
first Robin King, who I think could really be a really great character if they decided to use him. There were, maybe Scott Snyder has some plans for him somewhere down the road, but that was the other reason, because that it was because it introduced the Robin King, and they thought, okay, people equated the Robin King to the Joker who laughs, and they thought it would be the same, but it really didn't turn out that way. And, people like myself, it's a cautionary tale. Spec is just that. That's why it's Spec.
Exactly. Right.
Still, it's a great book to have in a 9.8. It's, to me, that book it's just a question of time. It's just a question until they get the character to the right writer, if Snyder doesn't handle it either.
If it was a sure thing, it'd be called a savings bond.
That's right.
But the return is terrible on savings. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? Guaranteed sure things don't have great returns, but whatever. All right, cool.
Okay, we're going to now dip back to the Golden Age again. This is Flash number 31 from 1942.
Nice.
The Flash, Hawkman was actually he and the Flash actually kind of shared the Flash comics, but this is from 1942.
He did a lot of that sharing in the early days, because he did that with the Atom, He did
Yep.
that with Adam Strange.
Mhm.
It was like, oh well, he's cool, but he's not cool enough to have his own book cool.
Right. Yeah. This is one where I love the character of Hawkman on this cover with the spear and everything, and it's
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fabulous.
What's oh, that's the dragon's tongue. I wasn't sure if that was his tongue or if it was eating something
no, his tongue is
or or
wrapped
someone.
around the ankle of Hawkman,
Got it.
which is
Got it.
why he needs a spear. So, all right.
Get some tongue action. Time to spear it.
If you just can't fly away, like that's
Okay. This was the second of my 3 recent pickups that I had, and this is the one that I referred to earlier that I got in a low grade, and I'm gonna use it hopefully to bump up. Maybe every year I'll try to sell this, put some more money into it, and get a higher grade. And as long as the pricing doesn't outpace my ability to do that, this is one that I'm going to try to upgrade. As often as I can, but I had to start somewhere, and it was a really good deal for the 2.0, and I'm like, low grade is better than no grade in my opinion too. So
that looks great for a 2.0. I'll be honest. Like if you were to hide the grade and dip it down, I'd be like, I'd be somewhere between 3.5 and 4.5. I get the spine is
it's got a really
the spine is rough, but still the colors present well. Wolverine is still very bright. But yeah, they obviously know a lot more than I do, but just from looking at the camera here, I think it looks great.
Yeah,
and it's complete. It's got the Marvel stamp. It's the cover is attached. It's all.
Yeah, it's another one of those examples of not everything being equal, right? If you're looking for the presentation factor, because it looks like, at least for our perspective, like the spine is where the grade really comes into play. But when I'm looking at a book's cover art, my eyes don't go to the spine first.
Correct.
Right.
That's awesome. I mean, that is one of those books that you guys can bust those out and all you want, and you're not going to get me excited about it. I mean, I appreciate the book, but for some reason I have zero interest in acquiring a copy for myself. That and GSX1. I know it's really weird. I appreciate them all day long, and people who have them, because I know what it represents and how hard it is and what it costs and everything else, and how people will go out of their way for so much to look for them. For some reason, it's just a book that I don't have an interest in owning at all, and I don't know why. I'm a Wolverine guy too. I should want one. Chris, what's wrong with me? You're a comic vet,
man, but
you're a comic vet. Help me out. Diagnose me, my friend.
I'm
beyond help. I've got issues.
I think there might be some trauma behind that. Maybe you had a monster deal, you turned it down, and now you're just lying to yourself, because
I've just got issues.
That's a foundational comic book. Like that's like cornerstone time. Like, what are your favorite 4 comic books in the entire collection? Well, let me start at 181.
Yeah.
And then we'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. Well,
Nav is correct.
Yes, everybody, come on, make me spend my money, because I don't do it.
Everybody's we're going to have an intervention now for Rob.
We're going to help him spend more of his money.
He says that, and then this time next year he'll have the trilogy. He'll all three first Wolverine.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm about halfway. I don't know if you wanted to do something.
Perfect. Yeah, we'll do this. Yep. It's a perfect time to go ahead and do this, and we sit there and say, again, I'll welcome everybody who's here. If you haven't been here yet before, what we're about to do is we're about to do our giveaway. We have a box of comics, a variety of all kinds of stuff, and we're going to do a 6-book mystery pool, or 6-book pool reveal. All you have to do is you're going to put a hashtag and a comment into the comment field. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what I'm saying. And that is going to be hashtag Kyle Rayner.
Ooh.
So go ahead and hit hashtag Kyle Rayner, put that into the comment chat, and we will then go ahead and select a we'll get the randomized winner, who Paul will help pick 6 books for you, at least 6 books, because there are books in here that have draw again or draw an extra bonus book comments on them and such. So you'll get at least 6 books, and then we will continue on with the show. While we're at it at this point in time, also again reminding everybody, if you're not following Paul or Chris on social media, check out Instagram links and links to YouTube down below, and be happy to have you be a follower. Yes. Let me change this. Hold on. Let me put this. Why is it interesting? It says I don't have it. Let me add it back to this. There we go.
There we go.
It said it was added to the stream, even though it wasn't showing. It was very odd. Panda, welcome. Happy to have you guys here. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Joffrey, check your spelling.
Oh, yep.
Oh, he got it in earlier. Okay.
Okay, yeah. All right, we give everybody another. We got 27 people watching, 19 entries thus far. So again, hashtag Kyle Rayner. I'll give you just a few more seconds to get that in. Of course, while we're at it, we'll talk about Chris, the comic vet here, passed his 500 subscriber giveaway, or passed his 500 subscriber mark. And I assume, Chris, that coming up in the not too distant future, we'll be having that shindig party time to give away some stuff, including the it's not going to show up very well on the small screen, but I'll do it anyways. But this Shannon Mayer Spider-Man #1, the J.J. Abrams, Henry Abrams book, the Shannon Mayer New York Comic-Con 2019 color splash variant. We'll be giving that away on your show. And I assume coming up you're going to have a
yeah.
You'll
so
have
what the plan is, just make sure everyone gets in hashtag Kyle Rayner. In the next few days, I'm going to be releasing a video on how to participate in getting the prizes that we've listed, that I've shown off. And then I'm going to basically pick a date, and we're going to have a live stream, and we're going to have some prizes exclusive to the live stream. And the grand prize and everything will obviously be a part of the original video that gets released in the next little bit. I just need to pick a date a little bit later in December.
Can I be your date?
Yes.
Oh,
and
excellent.
Of course. There's the presumption was already there. So, but yeah, I will pick a date.
Better buy me dinner first.
In the middle. See, now he's getting pushy, everybody. And what about when you pay me back for dinner afterwards? But no.
Yeah.
I'll be picking a date a little bit later in December, some point probably on a Monday, and going live around 7 p.m. Eastern. And I want to give everyone that's a part of Instagram a chance to make sure that they're clicked on subscribing to, and then basically I want to follow the footprint that Mark set up, and we'll go from there. But yeah.
Comic journey. Cole's date. All right, let's go ahead and draw this. We've given everybody enough chance here. So while it's spinning around here, don't forget also, guys, tonight, the LCS, Brian LCS has got the comic book community awards tonight. So that's exciting. Stephen C., congratulations, sir. Our winner for this first pull from the box. So let me go ahead and make myself to the large size. And Paul, how do we want to do this? How are you going to pull those books? A number from the front, number from the back, or some back and forth fingering action?
Well,
or back to front.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Yeah, back to front fingering.
We'll do a combination. We'll do some of both. So let's do 3 from the front. Start with that.
All right. Third one from the front. 1, 2, and 3. We have Batman or Detective Comics Batman 10. I don't even know which one it is. Yeah, Batman 106. There you go. This is the wraparound cover.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. First cameo appearance of Miracle Molly and Master Ways. This is the Jorge Jimenez wraparound variant. Congratulations.
Nice. Yep. And I'll have to do 6 from the back.
We have Marvel Tales Doctor Strange #1.
Awesome.
Awesome
That's a
cover.
nice cover.
It's an extra thick book.
Such an important character.
Very good. All right.
Let's do the finger thing, and I'll tell you when to stop.
Fingering it from back to front.
Yeah. And stop.
We got a copy of Batman the Three Jokers, issue book 1. Congratulations.
Let's do the finger again. Yep. Stop.
Teen Titans Special #1.
Okay.
That's a nice cover.
Part of the No Justice. All right. Let me move that back.
Go ahead. Stop.
We have Catwoman issue 52 from one of the earlier runs from 97. If I'm reading that right. Yeah, December 97 issue. One more book. He's got a heavy Bat book so far.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely heavy DC. See, only one Marvel book thus far. See if we can get him another Marvel book.
Stop.
Ah, there it is. There you go. Marvel. We have a looks like another fat collected works book. Spider-Man Kingpin to the Death.
Oh, very good. And look at that creative team on that book.
There you go. And what's nice about that is you get a nice little kind of collected work like that. You don't have to. You're not jumping something in the middle of something. You can read it. It's good to go. Mm-hmm. Oh, Comic Journey, don't worry. I'm nothing but gentle. I'm a delicate fingerer.
I thought he was more of a shocking kind of guy, but okay.
I can be.
Okay.
But, you know. All right. Congratulations, Stephen. I believe I have all your information already from a previous. But if you want to ping me on Instagram just to be sure, you're welcome to do so. If I'm wrong and I've never sent you anything, definitely reach out to me on Instagram because my brain is like a steel colander. It's full of holes and shit just goes right through it. You like that, huh? All right, Paul.
Yes.
Welcome back to the forefront. Make sure that Comic Journey doesn't blow a gasket. Make sure you say it right now. Say, "Look at me." Just say, "Look at me."
Look at me.
There you go. See, there you go, Comic Journey. All right, let's go ahead. Bob's got magic fingers. That's right.
I've got magical fingers. Wow. This is a more modern book, but it's from 92. This is another one that has kind of cooled off a bit, but it's Amazing Spider-Man number 361.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. I think I may be one of the only people that doesn't have this book signed.
I don't have it signed.
I don't have it signed.
My copy's just
really?
sitting there unsigned as well. Yeah, but yeah, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but this is again. This hit huge heights obviously just before the Venom 2 movie, and then after the movie came out, it's kind of settled down again. But I think this one again. I think long term, there's nothing wrong with having this book long term.
No, yeah, you're going to see it continue to cool down and drop for a bit, but it's still probably going to stay in a 9.8 for a modern book. I wouldn't be surprised to see it continue to be around at its lowest, go down to about a $500 book or something.
I was gonna say, it'll have a basement and it'll never go beneath it. The character is just way too popular. It's too much of a key, like, yeah. And like you got, like, let's be honest, you got the UPC there too. That gives it a little bit more flavor.
Understand,
yeah, love it.
Thanks for the heads up there, Cole. I'll take a look and see about fixing that link in the description. Are you looking at the IG? Oh, no, the IG is just not mentioned, so it must be the YouTube link. I'll take a look at that. Sometimes it gets broken when you copy and paste things like that. So,
yeah, and I think they also, I think YouTube changed some of people's URLs. You should just be like a whole bunch of random letters and numbers. And now they actually try to put your name into the link.
You have that option. It's a setting that you can select.
Oh, okay, maybe that's why.
But they also have, like, when you copy and paste a URL, there's a limit to the number of characters that will display when it actually goes up on public. So I try to use tiny URLs to replace them, but sometimes those tiny URLs don't work either. So I'll take a look at it. But thanks for giving us the heads up on that. Much appreciated. Yeah, no, and that's a book there that, the 9.8s, just so if you have a raw copy and you have, just so you know, if you're noticing that there's some dings at the bottom of the book, that's okay. On the 9.8 on this, because this book is notorious for having suffered from some machine grab issues on the bottom of the pages, and because that is a part of the standard manufacturing process and is visible on the majority of the books that are in circulation, CGC considers that an acceptable flaw to receive a 9.8. As a matter of fact, the absence of those flaws gives you a chance at potentially getting a 9.9 on the book, because 9.9 would be only minor handling issues, but no necessarily manufacturing issues. So, interesting piece of tidbit on that book for you. It may be that you have a 9.8 and you look at it, or you have a blank and you're thinking, oh, well, it's got these things at the bottom. If it looks like it's the machine grab for the manufacturing of the pages, then and that's the only thing you've got, then you've got a 9.8 on your hands.
Nice to know. This is from 2018. This was the Scott Snyder Justice League #1. This was the Clayton Crane secret variant that was an homage back to Brave and the Bold #28, obviously.
Yeah.
This was the Clayton Crane Virgin secret variant from Justice League #1.
Love it. That is phenomenal.
Yeah, I love Clayton Crane. I don't have enough of his books, but I really should get more. It's just, and he's one of those, and I think we mentioned this last time, but he's one of those people that I could not have him sign enough of my books. He just has such a great signature, especially if you get the some of the the multiple colored one. Yeah.
Yeah, that would actually look really good in that top right corner up there. That's a good signing spot. Yeah. I like Starro covers.
Cool.
That's cool.
Okay. Let's go back and do another George Perez book. This is another book that has kind of calmed down after the movie came out.
Oh, yeah, that was a monster of a book.
And then I was worried about how they were portrayed. Just from seeing the trailers, I was kind of worried about Taskmaster and Black Widow, and other people may have enjoyed it, but I was kind of unimpressed with Taskmaster in the movie.
Me included. I think they dropped the ball with the character. I'm not talking about gender swapping either. I think they didn't use the character right altogether. They could have gender swapped and had her be exceptional, and no one would have batted an eye. But for those of us that know Taskmaster, I know Taskmaster obviously from Spider-Man, but yeah, just they could have done it so much better. the mimicking of movements and everything, but it is what it is. But that's again another grail of a book you're holding there, and a very nice, respectable grade too. 9.2 for the 70s. Great.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hard thing to remember, is that you start talking about these books from the 70s and realizing that they're coming up on close to 50 years old now.
Yep.
That just doesn't seem right. But
yeah, and it is newsstand too. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But and again, thanks to everybody mentioning that about Sector 2815's URL to his YouTube not functioning. That was what I thought it was too long of a URL. I replaced it now with the tiny URL. So if it wasn't working and you weren't seeking it out yourself, no excuses now. Click that link, give them a subscribe.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Okay, this was the third of my 3 recent purchases that I came up with. This goes back to the Silver Age. It's from 1959. This is Action Comics number 252.
I was looking at one of those not too long ago, actually.
Obviously, the first appearance of Supergirl
with the blue skirt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I can't remember how long she had the blue skirt before they switched it to the red. Now I'm curious. All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to take a look, see if I can find it.
Actually, I just realized I actually have the first appearance and the last appearance of Supergirl that I showed today.
That's right.
Technically, yes.
Sure, she came back, but
yeah. But who's the creative team on that particular issue then?
It is hold on a second. It is Otto Binder and Al Plastino.
Okay, so DC at this point then was starting to open up the super family and starting to have different characters that were super. Okay.
Yeah, Mort Weisinger was the editor at the time, and he was like nothing was out of bounds. He was like, give me a horse, give me a dog, give me a give me Streaky the Super Cat.
Yeah, milk it for what it's worth, right? Yeah, that's how we got Crypto too, man.
Yeah, but we also got the Bottle City of Candor. We got all those, we got some great villains out of this time as well. We got Brainiac,
I'm not finding this easily. 800 things about Melissa Benoist changing her from the skirt to pants, but finding out when the skirt went from blue to red is not coming up in a quick, easy. Although it's really interesting, some of the other things that pop up when you start asking these questions, like does Supergirl wear a bra? I don't know, and I don't care. I don't think that really matters, but.
What about Wonder Girl?
All right, well, there you go.
I was going to say, I think that's kind of why they created Power Girl.
Right, That's it. Power Girl.
That's just the funniest. I mean, that's just the funny story on Power Girl. How with her look and everything that went on with that. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with it. I mean, it was the artist who was doing her for early time used to do adult themed stuff, and he just was. Each book, he just decided he was going to keep making her, having her larger and larger breasts, until finally and to see how far he could go, until somebody said, "Hey, stop it." And there you go.
Was that Wally Wood?
Names escape me because I'm horrible, but I'll take. But I only remember the story because I remember. It's just hilarious.
Yeah, that is kind of funny.
It sounds right. Because look at us.
And he did a lot of stuff in the Golden Age too, which is why I thought maybe it was.
Oh my God! Now Wikipedia's got a paywall up. What the hell?
Yeah. Okay.
Wally Wood, yeah.
And he did I thought he was on like the All-Star Squadron on All-Star Comics when it came back in the early 70s. So, Again, love my George Perez covers. This is Batman number 442. This is the first appearance of Tim Drake as Robin.
Very good.
Yeah. Very cool book. I recently picked that one up myself in a raw at a garage sale I stumbled across. Yeah, that's a great
Nice.
book. Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me about mine, I've got like 3 copies of it, and I could have sworn one of them was signed. And then I was going through them the other day, and none of them were signed. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, magical bugs came and ate the signature off my book or something, and changed the label from yellow to blue.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, obviously I must be thinking of something else, but I mean, but no, that's a. These are books that, like, it's funny to me how inexpensive this book is.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's probably the most unappreciated Robin, but I think he's one of the better ones.
Yeah, he's kind of in the news again because he's going to be dating his male friend. So
yeah, there was that, and then there's always the talk of what name is he going to use this week.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
The writers haven't been too kind.
Yeah.
But I liked all his stuff with Stephanie Brown. I mean, that was in the New 52 stuff. I mean, that was really interesting. And
yeah, and they kind of put it out there in Batman Urban Legends. I want to say number 6, I think, like that. And they basically said, we'll get back to it in 4 issues. And then Tom Taylor and Son of Kal kind of came in and took all the
thunder. Yeah.
Yeah, and it came out before they are actually going to get back to the story.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to jump back to the Golden Age. This is World Finest Comics number 14 from 1944.
Nice. Wow.
Oh, number 14. Look at you. They're all sitting around watching young boys in the lake.
Wow.
That may be
with
Tim
voyeuristic
Drake.
intentions.
But are they waving because of leeches a la Stand By Me?
Yeah,
it says no swimming, and they're in the water. Therefore, it requires superheroes to show up and discipline those boys for swimming in the watering hole.
Because lifeguards are not enough.
Yes. Would you?
So yeah, this is my earliest World Finest. This is another collection that I want to try to get as many as I can. I have all
rough.
Yeah.
The first 20. I mean, I really appreciate the first. I think it's about 120. The covers are, once you get past about around. I'm not hard on 120, but somewhere around that area, the covers change their tone and everything else. Went from about 120 below. They're very campy, just super fun. It's like 90% of them are like, oh, hey, look at that. We have Superman's powers, or Superman lost his powers and somebody else has his powers, or let's swap our powers, or something silly.
But it's funny because the earliest issues too is Batman and Robin and Superman appear on the cover, but they don't appear together in stories. They have separate stories.
Right. Exactly. Because cover doesn't have to tell anything to do about what's inside there.
No.
Right.
My earliest is 34. But that 14, that's impressive. I have a reprint though. I think it's issue 7.
Wow.
Which is them sitting on the turrets of the battleship.
Yeah, that's an iconic cover.
Okay.
Yeah. I could never get the original. That's just like so ridiculous. But there are flashbacks comics in the 1970s created 1970 facsimiles essentially of some of these classic Golden Age covers of these classic superheroes, and that's where I got my Submariner #1 and that flashback. Like I said that World Finest 7, and then there's some like Golden Age, Green Lanterns, all that stuff, and they're next, just like modern day facsimiles, they're next best thing. Yeah, but that's a beautiful cover. Love it.
Okay.
Why are you giving me mouth to mouth? Oh,
This is the Free Comic Book Day Invincible #1, but it's signed
yes.
by Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker. So
Very good.
Very good.
I don't own a lot of signed books, but this I love the show on Amazon Prime, and I
Me
love
too.
I love collecting the issues too, the ones that I have. I wish I had started collecting Invincible right from the beginning.
Don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. Um, so there's that, and then I got two more. I think
Okay.
this one is in the Bronze Age. This is Detective Comics number 411.
Mm,
This is the first appearance of Talia al Ghul,
Talia al Ghul.
Yeah.
who is going to come. I mean, they use her a lot, obviously, but she's going to be factoring into the upcoming Shadows of the Bat storyline they're going to be doing through Detective Comics in January and February,
Oh,
and the
very
Shadow
good.
War.
some could argue that she factors into a lot of Batman books simply for no other reason because Damien's around.
Exactly.
I understood that reference.
Yes.
Good, because sometimes when comic girls and comic boys like each other or just
Yeah.
have too much to drink,
They have little Damiens. Yeah.
that's right, little devil children. Yeah, and that's true. Very good call out on that one. There, I do like that Batman, and it changed up the logos from time to time, and different eras have different ones. But I do like the big sprawling cape, a la the '60s TV show,
hmm
with the lettering inside. Very cool.
hmm And this was the first. Talia al Ghul was first, and then a little bit like a couple months later, Ra's al Ghul appeared in Batman 232. But now they're expanding that too. I mean, I don't know if you guys read the new Robin book, but Ra's al Ghul's mother is now around. So
This family just won't die.
they're not done
All
with the
those
al
al
Ghuls.
Ghuls.
And they created a whole island, Lazarus Island. It's like Mort Weisinger on the Batman. On the Superman thing. So, okay, this is my last one. This is New Mutants number 98.
What's the significance on this book? I've never seen anybody present this book before
It's,
or
The
talk
significance
about it.
is that it was a ripoff of Deathstroke.
Oh, it's the first appearance of Gideon. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
No. The first appearance of Fake Domino.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that is an impressive. Yeah,
Domino's very important.
yeah, very cool. All right, excellent.
See, even
What I think is really interesting there is that we do have feet.
Right.
I find that interesting only for no other reason. Actually, to be honest, I was going through some other books to see like potentially if I wanted to bring anything to have Liefeld sign. I go to C2E2, and I kept looking at these things. I'm more like, oh, look at this! This guy's standing in fog. Look at this! This guy's standing ankle deep in water. Look at this! This guy's standing in a heap of bodies, ankle deep.
Didn't he not too long ago just put out like a new tier structure for his signatures too?
I don't.
Well, he's had that for a while.
Has it been a while?
I know that for a
Yeah.
while. I know for a while, like on the
Yeah.
Snake Eyes Dead games, he wouldn't sign any covers that weren't his cover, and some other weird stuff. I don't know if I'll actually bring anything for him to sign or not. I'm not, but I don't have. I only have one book signed by him, so
Right.
yeah.
Like he charges more to sign this book than he does almost any other book, I think.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
wouldn't bring. I'd bring something like probably this something that's worthless practically, like the second printing of first appearance of Cable. That there's a billion of them out there worth like all $9. I can make that book worth 15.
Yeah.
By spending 40.
That book, then the first Cable, then X-Force actually is tiered. The first X-Force is tiered, and there's one other book.
Oh, I'll bring Youngbloods #1.
That might be it. That might be Youngblood.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, Prophet Story. Youngblood 2 is now a part of that tier.
Nice.
Yeah. You can't get nothing past old Rob.
Nope.
I got a couple copies of Youngbloods #1 out in the garage. I can. Yeah, that's right. Comic Journey was part of that when I said I wanted to have them do a remark of a pair of sneakers or something.
What's your remark? Deadpool's feet.
I just want a pair of sneakers, a special pair of sneakers, and watch him go to tell me to go fuck myself.
Yeah. Like,
Wow.
Nav for the win. Let's be honest. Yeah.
You want him to? You want to pay you to sign Youngblood? I should make him pay me just to have fucking continue to own it, not use it to light a cigar or something.
Whoa! We don't treat cigars like that.
There's no need to be mean to the cigar.
Whoa! We leave innocent cigars alone.
What did it do to you? Oh man, I tell you, that's awesome. Thank you again for coming on, bring that. Anything exciting coming up for you this week? Do you have anything regular scheduled in your channel?
This Wednesday, at 9:30, I should have actual Dracula on my channel. We'll talk about comics and his journey and how he got into comics and his collection. And then a week from Wednesday, we should be having episode number 2 of Guess That Key. So we had our first one this past Wednesday. So we're looking to do that. And again, that's just kind of I'll just have some collectors on, and they'll basically they'll have like 10 questions, 10 yes or no questions, and then they have to guess what key it is after those 10 yes or no questions. And each of the creators brings their own keys, so everyone gets to partake of the fun.
Very cool.
Awesome.
Everybody, go ahead and start using this time now to add Slabtastic to hashtag Slabtastic to the feed there. So for our next set of giveaway books here, previous winner Stephen C., you are of course eligible once again because it saves me on shipping, and I'm not mean and excluding people. So I do have an amazing mail call dropping on Monday. I'm just going to say that. Some Silver Age, some amazing Silver Age books, a Bronze Age book that is straight from my childhood. I don't know if you, there are certain Japanese anime shows that crossed over to America in the late 70s, early 80s. I was a kid growing up. There was a channel out here called KTVU that did their kids club in the afternoon. It would have part man in giant suits, the Ultraman and the Johnny Sacco and that stuff that I would watch. But then they also had stuff like G-Force and Star Blazers and some of that stuff. Well, a book from that era, that genre and era, makes it into my PC. It just fills me with utter joy.
Did they actually show it as G-Force, or was it Battle of the Planets when you were watching it?
When I was watching it here, it was a Battle of the Planets because it was done. That's where they had Americanized it and made it to kind of introduce the little robot to be kind of like an R2D2 stuff and all this other stuff. So, slabbed in cave drawings. Thank you, DJ. Yeah, my love of Pokemon. No, definitely not. I don't get that one. But anyways, So some really cool stuff in the coming up on the Monday mail call. It's coming up, and of course tonight we will be doing banter. I trying to confirm Chip. It may not be on Chip's channel. We're trying to confirm from him whether it's on his channel or whether it's going to be on my channel. But tonight we will have banter one way or the other. Chris, anything exciting from you there?
Let's see. Tomorrow, Mark and I will be releasing Two Cool Guys Swap Picks. It's actually a very interesting week for New Comic Book Day this Wednesday. Monday, I will have a mystery box to be shown, and Wednesday, it's a open hangout for New Comic Book Day, starting 6:30 Eastern, where I invite everyone to come on and basically just show off the new comic books that you picked up that you're going to be reading for the week. If you got any ratios, any variants, this will be the time to show your friends and family, your comic book family, that is, what you picked up, and let everyone know if your wallet is angry with you or not. And in the very near future, I will be dropping the 500 subscribers contest video to talk about how to participate in the contest, and I'll be announcing then the date when the live stream will happen, where we give everything away.
Awesome sauce.
All right.
All right. What do we say we
some
give away?
books.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do we say we do that? Spin the wheel. We haven't said wheel of fish for a while, so wheel of fish. Joffrey. Congratulations there, sir.
Correct.
All right, let's get Joffrey some books here. Chris.
I kind of feel bad for Gary there. It was just that it held on for that nanosecond a little long. I'm like, oh, it's going to be Gary. Oh. But anyways, congratulations, Joffrey. Okay, let's 2 from the front.
Oh, we're getting some of these early books. Okay, we have ourselves. He's not going to like this. Nobody likes this. This is like the worst book in here. Nobody likes this artist. I mean, Alex Ross. I mean, who's he? Just a joke of an artist. I mean, come on.
All joking aside, the master shows up first.
That's right. Congratulations.
Let's go 8 from the back.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 from the back. We have a Ji-Hong Lee signed exclusive Black Cat #2.
Nice.
COA on the back there, folks. Look at that. Congratulations.
Wow. Joffrey. My goodness. Home runs. Let's take that first one.
The very first book?
Yes, sir.
Very first book. Apropos, how about the Trials of Ultraman?
Speak of the devil.
All right.
And 5th from the back. So in case that everyone didn't notice what I just did, I just gave a quiet homage to Paul's channel, Sector 2815. Please subscribe to Paul. Let's get him to 100 subscribers. There's more than enough of us here in the Comic Fam to get him to 100 just by watching this stream. His information is in the description for this video. Rob just put up a new tiny URL that you can connect to. Let's subscribe to this gentleman.
Thank you, sir.
Flash with Starfire and Nightwing. And look at that. It tells you what era that is just by
the ponytail
Nightwing costume. That's right. We got big hair Nightwing with that costume, and well, Starfire's about the same.
Starfire rocking that Vampirella look.
That's
all right.
Last 2 more books.
All right, let's see if I can agitate Comic Journey, and we're gonna go back to front. The back, Rob. Back first. Back first. Yeah. Back to front. Now.
Justice League Last Ride, issue 6.
That's a great
cover.
That's a potential cover of the year right there.
Look at that. Superman and Darkseid in a loving embrace.
Yeah,
he's looking. Superman's looking up at Darkseid, going, "Oh, you're such a gentle lover."
All right.
I'm sure that's exactly what happened.
Gary. Thank you. Okay, let's go. Continue on to finish this up. Now.
Huntress, issue 1, year 1, Huntress.
Love it.
So obviously some backstory, origin, action going on there. Wow. Some of these books I'm looking in here, I'm surprised. I keep expecting some of these books that are in here to come up, and they're not. And you guys keep passing over them. There's some.
I'm trying. I pulled out some bangers right there.
Oh, you did, absolutely. And and some of them I forgot are in there. And then I look at some of the other ones that are still in here, and I go, "Oh my God, there's so much good stuff in here." Here's some more Alex Ross. Nice. Some J. Scott Campbell. Some Tyler Kirkham signed books.
I'm feeling like there's some early G.I. Joe in there still too.
There is, yeah. There's some first G.I. Joes with first appearances in here. There's a lot of first appearances, various things. Ooh, there's a signed. Oh, if we were speaking of the man, there's a signed Liefeld X-Force #1.
Did he sign the bag or the book?
He signed the poly bag.
Oh,
So the book's still in polybag, but he signed the polybag. Interestingly. Anyways, all right, a lot of cool stuff in here. Continuing on, your chance to win every week. Although next week on Slab Hub, there will be a substitute show scheduled to air. I will be at C2E2, so I will not be here to host a live show. But Son of Slab Hub will air in its place at this regular time. Son of Slab Hub, it will be a pre-recorded show. I got some more slabs came in. I'll unbox that. So you have content to watch and don't have to feel sad with no slab. Coming up the following week, though, we return with Southern Comic Geek joins us to show off some of his slabs, and actually to close out the 2021, as we will not do a show on Christmas Day for obvious reasons. Chris has to be busy delivering packages to everybody from the Great North, and he's got a busy night, up all night, going around in his sleigh, delivering all the Christmas gifts to all the good boys and girls. Thank you for that, by the way. And on that note, I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat. Make sure you subscribe, everybody. And again, everybody on here. And if you haven't yet, please consider hitting the thumbs up button if you liked the show. If you didn't, well, I guess you can hit the thumbs down button. It really doesn't bother me much, but I mean, come on, what's not to love? If you're out at C2E2, I hope to see you floating around. Look for my ugly mug, either on my face, but it'll be covered by a mask. I'll look like this, but I will, unsurprisingly, have merch on. See, my face will be on display one way or the other. I'm such a whore. Until next time, guys, collect what you want. Don't listen to anybody, including me, because I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for watching.